Hello, trading is closed on September 13th, 2022. We always start with our disclaimer, go over our calls, and then make some predictions. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, Wednesday, 14th of September, 2022. Please remember, I can be completely wrong. Any trade you make should be at your own risk. We look for the pattern with the early low, which is this, and tomorrow should have the early high. We said yesterday's pattern was a negative pattern, that unless we get and took this high out early, we should see lower prices, and we could see 3,700 pretty quickly. This is what we said. We also said that the consumer price index comes out, and I just can't predict what will happen when that thing comes out. Certainly, I didn't think we'd have a drop of this magnitude in a day, even though I'm looking for lower prices before this one ends. We actually get to cross an old target off the list. 3925.15 from about a week ago. Note how we hit the target and found support there and then recovered. This green line supports a previous Fed announcement price. We have a new target, 3986.18. It's over 50 handles higher. Unless we gap down, that's my call for tomorrow. During the day, we got an ultimate sell in the afternoon. First, we rallied. MEJT said it was false, wouldn't stick. Then we have this drop. It also says that's false and won't stick. Gives us the target. This is the daily chart. These lines are Tom DeMark's TDST lines. Today's low is 3921.28. His TDST is 3921.05. Support is at and 1 bar under the line. So we dropped right to, but not through his support level. Here's a daily chart of the E-mini. When you see over 3 million contracts trade on the E-mini, don't forget, this is not all the futures trading. We still have trading from the full contract. Oh, this is the E-mini. Sorry, I'm confusing the E-mini and the E-micro. But whenever you have over 3 million on the E-mini, you're pretty close to a low. You can see that here. Here. I think this is at a low or pretty close to a low. There's also a timing system of a good friend of mine, one of the best traders I know. He has multiple hits for today and a change in trend. Well, if you like trend lines, you've hit the mother load with today's low. You got a perfect hit on this trend line. And if you connect these, it goes way back to before the COVID crash. So these multiple trend lines all meet here, and they offer support. Of course, if you gap under it, support breaks. But if you don't gap under it, the trend lines win, and any break through it without gapping under it should retrace. I still think that this 36 low is going to hold, and this is a retest of that low, which I think will be around 3,700. This is Gann's square of 9, trying to can start out with the big 666 low. It's going to make me work for this. And if you follow it down, you get your 36 June low, which I think will hold, because in addition to this, you had sentiment readings you only had at major lows. So I view this as a retest of the low. Now that one I showed. Well, here's how I'm counting this. It's now possible to count a complete 5 waves down, with the 5th wave equal to the 1st. And so we're in wave gray C. And this is either 1 of C or A of C if this low holds with a truncated 5th wave. Well, here's wave 1, 2, 3, ABC. And I have 5 essentially equal to 1, so it's a reasonable place to end it. Now let's look at this 5 wave down pattern. I tried to count this yesterday as a 5th wave, I just couldn't make it work. So we're going to count this as 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, that's 4, and that's 5. And if you set wave 1 equal to 38.2%, you can get your 5th wave right on the mark. Now it's also possible to look at this as my inverted diamond on stilts pattern. Here's your stilt, here's your stilt, here's a diamond. You could take the height of the diamond, set it to a fib number, 38.2, go to 100, and that's the target of the move, right at today's low. Doesn't make it the only target, but it's looks pretty if this holds. Well, tomorrow's pattern has the early high. We could still gap down, kill my idea. Typically, it's a rally day with a final hour high. If you fail, it's a straight line drop. The producer price index comes out tomorrow. Can make predictions based on technical analysis iffy, just as today's consumer price announcement made it kind of iffy. I mean, we dropped something like, 250 handles? I don't have anything that'll predict a move like that from high to low in a day on futures. Just as hard to predict, but we're going to try anyway. There's a higher MEJT target. We don't gap down smartly, the rules call for it to print. The biggest true range and the biggest volume of a move often occur in its final day, and I'm thinking that's today, till proven otherwise. Today's drop smacked of capitulation. The low is a target of time. It's a system of a friend of mine. The wave count works. You have an inverted diamond on stilts, hits it on the nose. The TDST line hits it on the nose. The trend line support hits it on the nose. You've got great support here. If it breaks in grand style, you could crash. But that doesn't happen very often. And if it does, you'll probably know before we open. A rally, should it occur, would be expected to encounter resistance around 39.86 cash. It's not only the MEJT target. It isn't only the MEJT target, it's the origin of the left stilt. Here's the left stilt and the right stilt. The origin of that left stilt is around 3986, and that's this support resistance area. So we have multiple patterns giving resistance to 3986 cash. Now you can break through resistance, but if we got up to here, I'd expect to see resistance. As always, you gap down smartly. The idea is kill before the open. That can certainly happen with this PPI announcement tomorrow. Crashes are pretty rare things, but they do happen. But to me, this is everything you need for a capitulation low. I think it's 5 waves down. I'm looking for 3 waves up, if it's the right idea. But I still think we'll see about 3,700 before we're done. I just don't think we'll see it in a straight line. And as long as that holds, we're looking for 3986. And who knows, perhaps more. If we gap over this, and you don't know what the PPI announcement's going to do, if we gap over this, I'm not ruling out filling this gap, strange as it seems. I'm not saying we are going to gap over it, but these island reversals in the middle of consolidations, I don't trust. They tend not to hold. If it's at the end of a consolidation, those things can hold. When it's in the middle of a consolidation, it usually shows too much pessimism to me. So, tomorrow has the early high. It tends to be a rally day. We have a higher target. I'm looking for a rally, probably a good rally, if this low holds. But if we gap under it, there could be a crash, because crashes only occur from oversold conditions. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for quite the opposite. And that's, I can change my mind before the open, but that's today's call.